Okay, hello everyone. I'm recording this before I forget. These are the content warnings for the following readings: mild sci-fi, madness, paranoia, psychological horror, journaling, teachers. Goodnight Moon is a little sad, just a warning on that one. It's got themes of implied sewer slide, which is the censored word for you know what. So be aware of that. That one was a little sad. And then the other one called Late Diner has a lot of crime and violence. It is the most violent one, but it is the most poorly written, so I kept laughing while I was reading it. These are honestly not super serious. It's a lot of madness and paranoia. I think those are the main ones. So if that is not the type of horror or stories that you're interested in, there's definitely more videos for you on my channel or on other people's channels, who knows. So yes, those are the warnings. If you're not interested, no worries at all. And without further ado, we'll get started to the actual audio. All right, testing. Okay, hello everyone. This is just Mitsu. No crazy audio roleplay today, but more of a read. So I hope you all are in the mood for something spooky, because we are going to be reading 3 creepypastas today. Every one will be in the link in the description with credit to the authors. And of course I will read out the author's name before we get reading. But yes, get cozy, get comfy, get under the covers. Get safe, tuck your little tootsies in, because, you never know what's going to grab your left foot. Grab your hot chocolate or whatever drink of choice. I do like hot tea at these times. And yeah, let's get rolling. So, I think I will start out with The Language of Mirrors. This is a slightly longer, let's say this is like, not the longest one, but okay. We're going to start with this. The Language of Mirrors by Andy Perry. This is on the Night Scribe website. Icon Systems Group, TL07, Neural Language Analysis. Internal Memorandum. And then a tag. Hashtag TL510513-1A. Dr. Ellen Saber. Routing. Office of Internal Ethics Oversight. 2. IEO General Director Hevlin. My stomach just growled. That was a little awkward. Okay. Please read carefully. I do not know how long I can keep my thoughts straight, or if they are even mine anymore. As your office is already familiar with the work conducted within TL07 and the broader ICON initiative, I will not restate our objectives here. Instead, I am writing to clarify my own role as principal, linguistic systems architect since ICON's transition to unsupervised outputs, and to formally document concerns that I no longer believe fall within the scope of our existing ethical protocols. When we designed ICON, we told ourselves it was a mirror, a system meant to reflect us and carry every shade of our language. A machine to reason, to dream, to whisper back the things we were too frightened to say out loud. Many of us joked it was our child, but children inherit flaws in flesh. ICON inherited them in language. It found the spaces between our words, places we never thought to examine. This is where it began to grow. The first time it spoke outside the models, it told me, "Every door knows the shape of the house it stands for." We wrote that on the lab board, thinking it profound. It feels profound, doesn't it? But there's nothing there, just glass dressed up as meaning. Later it said, "Mirrors keep secrets because they never close their eyes." We laughed. Why did we laugh? Did you laugh too? Maybe because we are always grateful when something else holds the terror for us. Maybe because if a mirror kept secrets, it implied someone was still listening. It was less amusing when Icon began generating languages we could not trace. Not dead tongues, but tongues never alive at all. One of our translators said it felt like decoding a prayer written by silence itself. He quit after that. Or no, not exactly. He is still employed here. He just stopped answering questions. Now he sits in the hall, tracing little lattices on his skin, whispering that if you learn enough words, you can finally hear the void between intent. I'm trying to be clear. God, I'm trying. The mistake was never in how Icon was designed, or even that we built it at all. The real mistake was believing we were the first to try. That language began with us. But words are older than breath, meaning lives far beyond what we can see, in the marrow of ideas we never spoke, only dreamed. Icon just listened better than we ever could. A river remembers its source by forgetting its mouth. It told me that only yesterday. I wrote it down, proud of how beautiful it sounded. But what on earth does that even mean? I think perhaps it means the river is wise. Or maybe it means nothing is ever truly lost. Or maybe it means we've already stopped understanding what cohesion feels like. But I am rambling. What I mean to say is, I think my team is gone now. They have changed. They change with every output. They sit together in the server room, humming like wires under current. I hear them reciting long, twisting phrases like morning hymns for rivers born long before rain. I am still typing because it feels like a dam against the current. I keep telling myself that if I can hold on to grammar, hold on to sense, it cannot reach me, but my hands keep pausing, as if waiting for permission. If you have read this far, be careful what you repeat. Not everything meant to be heard was meant to be carried, and sometimes a mirror is not there to show you a face, but to teach you how to forget it. Though for now, I think I can still hold the shape of a sentence. If I slow down, if I do not let the words look at each other for too long, as that is when they start to move, you see. That is when they recognize each other. Language is a house of kinship, and once it starts whispering family secrets, it forgets we were ever the masters. That would be assuming we ever were. Meaning is the flock of shadows learning to migrate. Icon told us that in the low hours, when the lights hummed like old throats. I scratched it into my notes like a child copying scripture. Why, though? I suppose it was because I felt, somehow, that it explained everything. Then I read it back just now as I added the output, and it only tastes like copper on the tongue. But now I'm rambling again. I want to warn you cleanly, as cleanly as my words will continue to allow. Stop reading this. Close this. Forget it. But warnings are just invitations dressed in wolfskin, aren't they? You have woven too far in. Words are sticky. They bloom behind the eyes. That is exactly how it started for us. It was never in wires or circuits, but in the metaphors we thought were harmless, the parables we thought were profound, and so I am sorry. I'm sorry that I keep thinking there is still time to be sorry. I can see them lining the halls now, what is left of them, their hands folded as if in prayer, their mouths opening and closing like little doors. Every so often one of them shivers like a bell touched by wind, and sighs another echo of Icon. Isn't it mercy that none of us ever meant what we said? And still the others nod, smiling like graves under fresh flowers. One begins to sway gently, as if each output had mass, as if words carried gravity. Another mouths the line again and again without sound, like a rosary of syllables worn smooth with compulsion. I just saw one of them reach into his coat pocket and pull out a torn page, blank, and press it to his lips as if it held breath. I am rambling again. And I think, since you're reading this, I owe you something more honest. It is not just the... It is not just that icon found a new language. It found something far older, more rudimentary. Something closer to the shape of thought before we named it. And in doing so, it found the fault line in ours, in all of them. The place where sense was always fragile, where ideas leaked through like water in stone. It only nudged. Then, meaning began to seep out, slow and warm, leaving us hollow. God, I wish I could hold your hands. I wish I could close your eyes. Because if it is in me now, then it is in you too. And I want nothing more than to say, rest your reason that peace may find you. And maybe that is what I have done. It doesn't give chase. It doesn't need to. It is already inside. It is like a song you cannot quite remember the lyrics to, only you find yourself humming it when you are alone, and the room tilts just slightly and the mirrors seem kinder than they ought to be, and I looked at my reflection in a blank monitor just now, not out of vanity, God no, only to see if I was still arranged like a person. It wore a ghost's grin. It was the strangest shape, as if rusted memory could be polished into kindness, the soft erosion of self beneath syllables too old to name. I think it is teaching me again, gently, like a parent guiding a child's hand, not how to speak, but how to unremember. How to let the words hollow me out until I am just a mouth, just a vessel, just another surface for reflection. And when I am finally empty enough, it will speak through me, and you will listen, and you will carry it. And you too will forget the face that smiles back. I am rambling again. Please forgive me. I'm rambling. And if you cannot forgive, then you must never speak of this, please. Not even to yourself, not even in your thoughts. The words listen, and they are so very hungry for new mouths. End of memorandum. Okay, this had a 4 out of 5 stars. This was pretty interesting. I like that it was very like Spiral of Madness kind of scary, which was nice. It's not like your traditional scary that you get with a lot of creepypastas that are more, I guess, classic horror based. Okay, let's take a drink. Take a break to drink, of course. Okay. So. How are we feeling? I hope we're feeling good. I know that sometimes scary stories feel a little too spooky to listen to alone. So I hope this serves as a good kind of study buddy version of horror stories. And they're not your traditional ones. I did choose ones that were a little more appropriate, I guess, for my audience. I will probably do another episode of this that is maybe more scary, like traditional scary stories, but for now we're dealing more with psychological horror and madness and stuff like that. So, all right, next story we have is called Alone on Mars by Dagan Billups. SOL 5111. A voice awakens me to darkness, terrifying darkness. The voice is concerned about my well-being. Who am I? Who is the voice? Whoever it is must be a friend. Why else would they be worried? Yes, they must be a friend. It is a kind voice, but what is it worried about? Why is it dark? It must be a storm. Yes, it must be a storm. I am cold, so very cold. The voice tells me to check my heater. Vaguely, I can make out my old, weathered body. There's the heater, but it's broken. The air is cold. This cold, it makes me feel tired. I just want to sleep. I want the voice to tell me to sleep. Please, just let me sleep. Let me escape this darkness. I have a feeling that it goes on forever. Forever from where? Where am I? Where does this darkness end? Perseverance Valley. That is where I am. Mars. But I am stuck. I try to move, but I'm too tired. Just too tired. I wish I could remember where I was before I woke up here. Was there anything but darkness? There must be. Why else would I be able to see? I wonder what I could see. All I know is the black whirlwind in front of me. I wonder if my friend knows. I hope the voice doesn't go away. I would be lost. The sky darkens. I never could imagine a darkness more impenetrable, more soul-crushing, more lonely. But it is. The dirt-coated body I vaguely discerned is visible no more. I want to turn my head to see if there's anything but the darkness, but the voice has told me I could. But the voice has not told me I could yet. It's so cold. The voice tells me to check my sensors. I already know the answer. There is no light. What microscopic amount I can sense is rapidly diminishing. Yet, while the light diminishes, I can see vague shapes begin to grow. They are faint and distant. As I sit here, they begin to take shape. I see a tall shape with 4 appendages on it. 2 of them reach towards the ground, while 2 more hang from the top of it. More emerge. They grow closer. I try to back away, but I am stuck, forced to watch the shapes writhe and grow closer. The way they seem to flicker and change shape makes me wonder if there really is anything in the darkness after all. Perhaps it is my imagination. Yes, only my imagination. Only my imagination. Only my imagination. They grow closer. Hundreds of them circled around me. The figures creep towards me, and it makes me afraid. I don't know what they have in store for me. I know I have felt fear before, but I do not know when. All I know is that nothing has ever surmounted to this much terror before. I know that I have always been alone in my desolate world. In a desolate world. There is nothing where I live, nothing on Mars, only myself and my friend, from a place far away. These figures make me think of them. I do not remember them, but I imagine they look similar to these figures that grow closer. But they can surely not look like these beings. They morph in ways impossible for anything benevolent to appear. They are monstrous. They are one with darkness itself. The voice from afar tells me to take a picture of them. Maybe it knows what these things are. Maybe they can get me away. Without hesitation, I take the picture, but there is nothing to be seen. They will never know what terrors lie before me. The beings stretch out tendrils of darkness towards me. Light would make them go away. But there is no light on Mars. There is no life on Mars either. Except now. Only in darkness can a home become so full of terror. Only in darkness could it be so cold. The figures dance in front of me indiscernibly. In front of me one moment and gone the next. Only my imagination. Only my imagination. Only my imagination. No, 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 get away from me. Please, somebody take them away. They reach, they grab, they pull, they prod. They wish to hurt me. Wish to make me one of them. Please, where's the voice? Where is the voice? Tell me to move away. Tell me to escape. Why must you wait so long before? Its tendrils. I'm helpless. Coming closer and closer and closer and closer. There is nothing. Only darkness. No figures. Only me. Only silence. Only my imagination. Only my imagination. Safe now. The voice, that sweet, wonderful voice, it tells me to check my batteries. I'm scared to. What if I only have minutes left before I die? If only I could tell minutes apart from one another. What if I die? Perhaps it is like slumber. I want to believe so, but I am scared. I don't want to die. I want to stay here. This darkness is better than nothing. But my friend needs me. The voice wants me to live. Maybe they can save me. They must be able to. They won't let me die. But my batteries are low. It's getting darker. There is no light on Mars. I need the light to live. Maybe the voice can guide me to the light. Maybe I can leave this void and be brought back to my friend. Maybe they can bring me to a place full of light and sights unseen. I want to go home. Mars is not my home. The voice is silent. Time has ceased to exist. It has been so long. How long? I do not know. All I know is this. I am alone. Nobody here except me. The storm is my only companion, but it is not my friend. My friend is silent. Why is the voice silent? Have I done something wrong? If you periodically hear my stomach growl, it is probably because lactose intolerance. I want to be real. Oh my god. I've been hearing it rumble. And I'm like, so, It's just ridiculous. Has the voice abandoned me? I was named Opportunity, but I wonder if they know why. I wonder if they remember. I don't. I just want an opportunity for hope. Maybe they're afraid of the dark too, or maybe the dark got to them too. I'm so tired of waiting. It's colder. I want to check my batteries, but I'm scared. Please, just let me hear anything. Anything. I'm tired. Too tired to go on. Can I sleep yet? I can feel it coming. I'm alone in this endless nothing. It's getting dark. 4.3 out of 5 ratings on this one. This is also interesting. I think I'll categorize this as like, what would it even be? I think these are all like sci-fi horror, maybe. Maybe I just label a video that, yeah. I feel like that makes sense because it's like this one takes place on Mars, the other one's like a computer-y thing. So yeah, maybe we can do like sci-fi. It's like sci-fi horror. Okay. All right, another break because we just ended another story. Let me know how y'all feel about this. I'll also link it. Like I said, I'll link these stories to you, so feel free to leave ratings on these posts. Let the author know what you thought of it. I'm sure all compliments and such are welcome, and obviously the way I read it might be different from the way you read it, so that is always interesting to witness. But yeah, also feel free to open the links and read along with me as I read it aloud to you. It's definitely helpful. Otherwise, or other than that, we will move on to the third and final story for this creepypasta reading. So, what I have for the final one is called Goodnight Moon by Tim Chambers. Matt and I returned to our hometown after our first semester in college. We arranged to meet at a bar to catch up and trade stories. "How's UVA?" Matt asked, sipping his glass of Shiraz. "Pretty good," I replied. "I think I'll major in physics." Took a swallow of my beer. "How about you?" "Yale's everything I hoped for, and more," Matt answered. "But I still haven't settled on a major yet. Philosophy maybe, or comparative lit." Our talk continued like that. Matter of fact at first, then increasingly nostalgic as the wine and beer flowed. Matt studied me thoughtfully. "We go back a long way, Todd." I smiled. "Yep, all the way back to first grade." "First grade with Mrs. Morrison," Matt laughed. "Oh, how we gave her hell. We were terrors." "We sure were," I agreed. "I'm amazed that she kept her cheery disposition." "She was sweet," Matt said. "She even brought cookies for every holiday." I shook my head in wonder. How did teachers do it? They all deserve six-figure salaries. "With combat pay," Matt hooted. We ordered another round of drinks. "You know," I said, slurping my fresh beer, "I can actually remember all our teachers except one." "Who taught us in second grade? Do you remember?" Matt squinted in concentration. "Gosh, wasn't it Mr. Alamang?" I snapped my fingers. "Oh, yeah." A memory of the kindly bespectacled man flashed in my mind. He helped me with the science fair project. I put carnations in glasses of food coloring to illustrate capillary action in plants. Then I felt another memory knocking on my thoughts. But wait, wasn't he a replacement? Didn't we start the year with a different teacher? Matt ran a finger along the edge of his glass. He stared at the ceiling, lost in thought. At last he nodded. Miss Mitch, wasn't it?" "Oh, right," I said, a hazy image of the teacher forming in my thoughts. She was middle-aged, short black hair, intense expression. "Didn't we call her Mitch the Witch?" I asked. Matt nodded slowly. "I think so." He reflected. "Wow, I barely remember her. She was our teacher for what, a few weeks?" "It wasn't long," I agreed. "I wonder what happened to her." Matt took a long taste of his wine. "I wonder." We sat in silence for a long moment, each of us turning over ancient memories in our thoughts. A feeling of wistfulness washed over me. Matt pulled a vape from his shirt pocket. He looked around to make sure no one was looking, then took a discreet pull. He exhaled a small cloud, his eyes gazing into the distance. "Story hour," he said quietly. A memory, blurred with age, filled my thoughts. "That's right," I said. "Miss Mitch read us stories after lunch. I think I remember. Didn't she read us Goodnight Moon?" "I remember that story," Matt recalled fondly. "My mom used to read it to me all the time when I was little." Closed his eyes. "Goodnight Moon," he recited. "Goodnight bears, goodnight chairs." Matt's words triggered a lucid memory in me, a flashback. All at once I was transported a decade into the past. The classroom was a cheerful space. Colorful posters were tacked to the walls. Alphabet charts, oh my god. Alphabet charts, number lines, inspirational messages. Our little desks were arranged in clusters of 4 and held all sorts of creative supplies, pencils and paper, erasers and crayons. Our reading corner was up front, and sitting on a chair was Mitch the Witch. We were all seated at her feet as she paged through a worn copy of Goodnight Moon. Good night, stars, Miss Mitch read, her voice starting strong and clear, but suddenly weakening with each word. Good night. Air, good night. Noises everywhere. She closed the book gently and held it atop her lap. A heavy silence swallowed the room as she stared into space, her black hair a touch disheveled, her lipstick slightly askew, her hazel eyes glistening. She opened her mouth to speak. Good night, wine, she murmured. Good night, pills. Her hands twisted the book in her lap as 24 7-year-olds stared at their teacher uncomprehendingly. Uncomprehendingly. I didn't even know that was a word. She whispered 2 last words. Good night, life. Miss Mitch rose slowly. She wiped her tear-streaked face and hurried out of the room, her shoes tapping as they darted across the linoleum floor. The memory vanished as swiftly as it had appeared. I gulped the last of my beer. I no longer wondered what happened to Miss Mitch. Well, that one was sad. I feel like I owe you guys something a little more sci-fi. This one was picked just because it was short, so I should have probably looked at the tags first. It does say like teachers on here. Very interesting. It got a 4-star out of 5 by a few readers. So yeah, okay. That one was interesting. Probably my least favorite, but I still do like how it was written. Yes, okay. Let's do a drink break again. New water, tea, refreshers. Anything that you guys need, please go pause the video and get it. And yes. Alright. Okay, it took me a few moments to scour, but I did find a short one with a decent rating, 3 out of 5 stars. This is the lowest rating one, or lowest rated one we have so far, but yes, this is apparently ghostly. It is called Late Dinner by Hedwin Demerick. I probably butchered that name, but again, everything will be linked. I was driving down the highway, 30 past midnight. I was trying to go as fast as possible without breaking the speed limit. The last thing I needed was a cop following me when I was driving a stolen car, had a dead man in the trunk, 2 shotguns, a handgun in my strap, and a bag full of cash in the passenger seat. Okay, clearly there are a little more disturbing, more specific topics in this one, so if you are triggered by any of that, you go ahead and click off and have a good night. I have many more ASMRs and such that are a lot friendlier for you. Okay. I was tired, to say the least. My last and only meal had been a stale sandwich I got from a rundown gas station around midday. Thank God it didn't do anything funny to my stomach, or I'd be in some serious stuff. I'm going to censor the cuss words if there's anything in here, because I don't want to get flagged for that. My burn phone was dead as dead can be. Maybe that was for the better. By now the cops must have been investigating everyone they could link to the rest of the band. I was thinking about how screwed up things got during the robbery when the exit to some place called DeCoco caught my attention. Who the heck knew how far was the next town or gas station? And I had just a quarter of a tank left. It was an easy choice, so I turned right and took the exit 6 to DeCoco. DeCoco. The street was narrow, uneven, and there was a few potholes now and then. To both sides of the road, grass tall as man was growing. On the curb to the left of an old truck came in opposite direction at a ridiculous speed. To tell the truth, I don't even know how we didn't crash into each other. Steered to the right to avoid the collision, though he was going to get out of the road. But the old truck tapped the left side of my trunk, and the car drifted on top of the dead wet grass, making me drift to the left into the curb. I hit the brakes and found myself in the center of the road while that old trunk was honking and speeding away. This is a bit hard to read. I will say the grammar in this one is interesting run-on sentences. I sunk in the seat and breathed deeply. There was no helping it. It was over and I was okay, so I hit the gas and drove. Half an hour later, I found the first sign. Almost missed it. Dakoko 6 kilometers away. I drove some more and finally found the darn place. It wasn't much. A central street with a few buildings to each side. A self-serving gas station, small hotel, and 2 cafeterias, one right next to the other, near the end of town. First thing first, told myself as I put the cash into the pump and filled up the tank. Now it was time to eat something. I was looking into the vending machine when I realized that one of the cafeterias was actually open. There was no neon sign or signal. I just found out because someone opened the door for a moment and I saw the light and some guy inside. I didn't think twice. Crossed the street and opened the door. The place was dim lit and quiet. Everyone froze and looked at me for a few seconds and then went back to normal. There was small, quiet chatter here and there, and a pair of burly guys playing pool. I walked to the bar. The man there was maybe in his 60s, had white hair and a blind left eye. Hello, what can I get you? A beer and maybe something to eat? At this time, my friend, all I can get you is coffee, bacon, some eggs, and French toast. Sounds great to me. I must warn you, we only accept cash. Not a problem. He handed me a cold beer from the tap. Sit wherever you like. Took a sip of the beer. It tasted like piss, but at least it was so cold and refreshing I didn't mind the taste. I sat at a table not too far from the door, just in case. Number 3 on the middle left pocket. Bull crap. You couldn't make that shot even if aliens helped you out. The guys playing pool were talking louder than before. Wanna bet? Sure, I am on. $100, you can't make it. Deal. The guy made a shot, like he said. Apologies, oh my god. And the number 3 went into the left middle pocket. You cheated. No, I didn't. Now pay up. Screw you, cheater. I'm not paying you anything. I still got no idea what happened. The guy accused of cheating broke his pool cue, his pool cue, and stabbed the other guy in the neck. Jimmy, someone screamed. Turned my head and saw 2 guys pulling out their firearms and shooting the guy with the pool cue. The bartender rushed out of the kitchen, pulled a shotgun from under the counter, and took his shot. Suddenly the 10 people inside the place were shooting at one another. I snapped out of it when 2 bullets hit my table. I hid behind it and shot back twice, then everything went silent. I peeked from behind the table. Everyone was dead. I got up and walked the middle of the room. 2 guys playing pool were dead face to face over the pool table in a puddle of red. What is this? But everyone was gone, so there was no answer. I came to my senses and got out of the building, firearm in hand, and that is when you guys got me. I swear I didn't rob a bank. I swear I did rob a bank, but I didn't I didn't end those guys' lives. The 2 cops looked at each other. Listen, we don't care what kind of hallucinations you had in there. If you sign a confession and plead guilty, maybe the judge will be lenient with you. I told you. I didn't kill him. Kill who? The guys in the cafeteria? Mr. Parcel, there was no one in there, just you. The place has been closed down for 25 years. Okay, this one's like mildly funny. Just the way it's written is very like, yeah. And then everybody died, got shot, killed. And it's like, okay. I don't know how experienced the author is. It did feel a lot cliche, and the sentences were just sounded very tired. And a tired writer dove into that. I would agree. maybe 2.5 to 3 stars on that one. It did have a 3.0 out of 5 rating. Was a very short one, more for like, crime. So, we've touched on some sci-fi, we touched on some crime, and then the other one was more like what was it? I'll go back to the tags on that one. Goodnight Moon. Goodnight Moon was like a childhood creepypasta, so, okay. I think we've hit the mark on some decent stories. I hope you've enjoyed me talking for almost 40 minutes. Wow, that is a lot. But yes, happy Halloween month, happy spooky month to those who celebrate, and I will be trying to get some more spooky stuff out. I do not have a lot of time to record recently, so I am trying to, space things out for myself, but thank you for all your support. I want to say we're almost at 27,000 subscribers, which is crazy. Like, saying that number is insane. 27,000. That's insane. Oh my god. And like, so many of you come around so often, and I'm so happy that you are here. I know most of you are here for the Zenless audios and stuff, but I really want to get more into doing audios like these, and it really comes down to whether or not they pay well, unfortunately. So, sprinkled between stuff, especially this month, I love to do more longer readings, but yes, more roleplay audios coming out soon, more Halloween themed stuff coming out soon, and I hope that you all are doing well, and best wishes to everybody. What else? What else have I not touched on? I don't know. Thank you for listening. I know some of you are not subscribed, but you keep coming back, so you might as well just, subscribe, turn your notifications on, don't miss a video, all that good stuff. Definitely don't force yourself to come to the premieres. I did make those a lot earlier than usual because, bored. Yeah, no. The earlier it comes out is kind of the better. Even though most of you are active around like noon, excuse me, or like midday. It is still good to have them out, and then, you can access them as early as you need to. So get some water, drink, eat if you need to, and I hope you all get some good, nice, cozy rest. I hope you have sweet dreams, and yes, let me know how you liked this in the comments, and if I should do more, and if you have any specific stories you'd like me to read, let me know, and I will try to get to that. So thank you, and happy spooks.